Have you ever wondered what secrets lie in the heart of an old, decrepit forest? Our tale begins on a moonless night with a group of friends huddled around a campfire. They've heard the local legends, the whispers of a ghostly presence that haunts these woods. As the wind howls and the flames flicker, they dismiss the tales as mere folklore. However, as the night descends, the forest grows darker, the temperature drops, and an eerie silence settles. The friends try to keep their spirits high with stories and jokes, but the rustling leaves seem to whisper warnings. Sarah, one of the friends, feels a chill run down her spine. She brushes it off, but the whispers in the wind persist. Then they all hear it, a haunting melody resonating from deep within the forest. It's beautiful, hypnotic, and chilling all at the same time. Drawn by this spectral siren song, they venture deeper into the woods. As they continue their journey, the trees close in around them, their branches twisted like skeletal hands. The melody grows louder, more enchanting, yet more unsettling. It leads them to a clearing where an ancient rotting tree stands, its branches forming a grotesque arch. There they see her, a spectral figure floating above the ground, her face obscured by long flowing hair. Her tattered white gown billows in the wind, and her voice is the haunting melody that lured them here. She beckons them with a bony finger, and they realize the horrifying truth. This is the spirit of a woman who died tragically in these woods, and she seeks their souls for eternal companionship. They try to escape, but the melody grows louder, more insistent, pulling them towards the cursed tree. Their cries for help are drowned by the enchanting yet sinister song. One by one, they're drawn into the tree, their souls trapped forever in the haunted forest. As dawn breaks, the forest falls silent again. The ghostly presence is satisfied, patiently waiting for the next group of unsuspecting travelers to fall into its grasp. So if you find yourself near an old, decrepit forest, remember the tale of the spectral siren and the cursed tree. Don't let her haunting melody lure you in, for you might never escape. And remember, it's just a story, or is it? Days turned into weeks, and the small town nestled at the edge of the haunted forest grew restless. News of the disappearance of the group of friends spread like wildfire, and fear gripped the hearts of the townsfolk. They knew the legends, and they knew the forest was a place to be avoided, especially after dark. As the mystery deepened, a seasoned investigator named Detective Miller arrived in town. He had heard tales of the cursed woods and the ghostly apparition that dwelled within. With a skeptical mind, he decided to look into the disappearances, believing that there must be a rational explanation. The townspeople, desperate for answers, provided Miller with what little information they had about the missing friend's last known location, a campsite deep within the forest. Determined to solve the mystery, Miller ventured into the woods, his flashlight cutting through the oppressive darkness. As he walked deeper into the forest, the air grew colder and the trees seemed to close in around him as if they were trying to keep him from uncovering their secrets. The investigator felt a shiver down his spine, but he dismissed it as mere superstition. Hours passed, and Miller found himself in a small clearing. It was eerily quiet, and the moonlight barely penetrated the thick canopy of leaves above. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Then he heard it. The same haunting melody that had lured the group of friends deeper into the forest. Miller's heart raced as he followed the sound, drawn inexorably toward the ancient rotting tree at the center of the clearing. There he saw her, the spectral woman, her face still hidden by her long flowing hair. She hovered above the ground, her eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. The melody grew louder, more hypnotic, and Miller struggled to resist its pull. But unlike the ill-fated friends before him, Detective Miller had experience on his side. He pulled out a small vial of holy water and sprinkled it in the direction of the ghostly figure. With an anguished scream, the spirit recoiled, writhing in pain. The melody faltered, and Miller took his chance to break the enchantment. He recited an incantation he had learned in his years of investigating the supernatural. With a blinding flash of light, the spirit was banished, disappearing into the cursed tree with a blood-curdling wail. Breathing heavily, Miller realized that he had saved himself from a fate similar to the missing friends. As he made his way back to the town, he couldn't help but wonder how many others had been ensnared by the ghostly melody and the cursed tree over the years. The haunted forest would forever be a place of dread and mystery, but thanks to Detective Miller, the curse had been weakened and its malevolent spirit would trouble the living no more. I hope you enjoyed this continuation of the story. Detective Miller returned to the town, the weight of his eerie encounter still hanging heavy on his shoulders. He knew he had banished the ghostly presence that had lured the group of friends to their doom, but the haunted forest secrets continued to haunt his thoughts. Back in town, he was met with a mix of relief and suspicion. The townspeople were grateful for his intervention, yet they couldn't help but wonder if the forest would ever truly be safe. They knew that evil spirits, once banished, had a way of returning. As the weeks passed, Miller delved deeper into the town's history, seeking to uncover the origins of the cursed tree and the malevolent spirit that guarded it. He scoured dusty archives, interviewed elderly residents, and pieced together a chilling tale that had been hidden for generations. It was said that many years ago, a woman named Eliza had lived in the town. She was known for her ethereal beauty and her enchanting singing voice. Eliza had a tragic life, plagued by heartache and misfortune. She had been accused of witchcraft, a grave accusation in those superstitious times. Driven to the brink of despair, Eliza had fled into the forest, seeking refuge among the trees and the creatures that dwelled there. Legend had it that she had made a pact with dark forces, gaining the power to ensnare the souls of those who ventured too close to the cursed tree. As Detective Miller uncovered more about Eliza's story, he realized that she had been wronged by the townspeople who had feared her. She had become a vengeful spirit, seeking to claim souls as her own, forever bound to the forest that had become her refuge and her prison. Determined to break the curse once and for all, Miller enlisted the help of a local historian, an expert in ancient rituals and magic. Together they devised a plan to free Eliza's tormented spirit and put an end to the haunting of the forest. On a moonless night under a sky heavy with clouds, they returned to the clearing where the cursed tree stood. Armed with ancient incantations and sacred relics, they began a powerful ritual to summon Eliza's spirit. As they chanted, the air grew charged with energy, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. And then, with a blinding flash of light, Eliza's spectral form appeared before them. Her eyes, once filled with malevolence, now held a deep sadness. Miller spoke to her, expressing remorse for the town's past injustices and promising to free her from her curse. With tears streaming down her ghostly cheeks, Eliza accepted their offer and allowed herself to be released from her centuries-old torment. As the first rays of dawn broke, Eliza's spirit ascended, disappearing into the sky. The cursed tree crumbled to dust, and the forest seemed to sigh in relief, as if a long-held darkness had finally been dispelled. Detective Miller and the historian returned to the town, their mission complete. The haunted forest was no longer a place of dread and doom. The townspeople, now aware of the tragic tale of Eliza, vowed to honor her memory and protect the forest from further harm. And so the cursed chapter of the haunted forest came to an end, and the once frightening woods began to heal, becoming a place of beauty and tranquility once more. I hope you enjoyed the continuation of the story.